People travelling from Peterborough by train will see the countryside flashing past the windows faster in future. After 3 years, Network Rail have got the go-ahead to dig a multi-million-pound tunnel under the Werrington Junction. At the moment, the trains have to slow down as the freight line crosses the East Coast main line. We heard earlier from Mike and Linda Howard, who had to move to make way for the new stretch of line. But we can now speak to John Fox, Peterborough City Councillor for Werrington, about the wider impact on train travel and the area. Morning, John.
Morning, Dottie.
So this has the go-ahead after years.
Yes, it does. I have to give Network Rail credit, and especially the person leading it, David Vernon. He has consulted very, very well, and he's kept Werrington Neighbourhood Council and the local councillors, fully informed all the way along.
OK, and this plan for a tunnel rather than some of the other plans that were on the table, is that the best way forward for you? Yeah,
there was a plan of a flyover or a tunnel. Well, the flyover would have looked terrible and created more noise because it was higher up. Fortunately, I listened to the consultation, and I can't remember the exact figures, but it was a high percentage preferred the dive under. So obviously they went for the dive under. I didn't think they would, personally. I thought they'd be more expensive, but they did, and I give them full credit for that.
Of course, it means that trains will be able to pass through the area faster. I suppose that's probably good if you're on the train. What if you're a resident living near the line?
Yes, that's the problem with anything when it comes to progress is, we shouldn't say winners and losers, but it's basically is that, isn't it? It affects some people, sadly, in ways we would rather not see, but unfortunately that happens. And I know that those cottages been there for years, and I'm sure when they first built them, there was a lot of traffic going on that line, more so than there is today.
And what about the speed of the commuter trains as they pass through? Are you worried about the noise?
Well, going north to south, do you mean? Because going east to west, I don't think there'll be that many. There might be a few more, but north and south, obviously, that's going to be a great thing because people are going to get faster to wherever they're going. So it's got to be a good thing, and also it'll bring more trains on the line between Peterborough and wherever.
OK, so John Fox there, Peterborough City Councillor for Werrington, seeing lots of positives in this new scheme. Philip Sutton's a journalist from Rail Exclusive. Morning, Philip.
Good morning.
How big a change will we see as a result of this?
Quite a big one, I think. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done yet, but essentially, I mean, you're talking about speeds there, but the real reason for this work is to allow the number of trains on the East Coast Main Line to increase. The number of trains is dictated by the track layout, the speed and the signals. And this new dive under essentially allows freight services to dip under out of the way of the East Coast so that the high-speed services don't need to slow or stop at signals, a bit like being stuck behind a tractor.
And how important is that freight element of our railway network?
It shouldn't be forgotten. I mean, essentially what we're doing here is a modern slant on restoring the infrastructure that was lost. We've got a lot of freight services coming in from the Port of Felixstowe that go to the north and to the west. And those to the north need to sort of fit in with the high-speed passenger services. And obviously freight is limited to about 75, and the high-speed passenger trains, especially the new ones that are coming in over the next few years, will be 125, if not higher.
And to what extent is this extra capacity that will be created on the passenger trains needed?
I think more and more people are looking to rail services, essentially as the roads get more congested. But what it's going to allow people to do is to have more journey opportunities as well. Although the East Coast Main Line has had a few problems with the franchises, the operators are looking to add more services to different destinations. And it's always a problem slotting in these new or extra trains. So now we've got the opportunity of up to 8 trains per hour running out of King's Cross to the north.
Philip, great to talk to you. Philip Sutton there, a journalist from Rail Exclusive, and Nick Sandham's on the line from Network Rail. Hi, Nick.
Morning.
We're looking a way ahead. The tunnel should be built by 2021. What impact should it have on your capacity, though, on this line?
I think, obviously, by 2021 we'll have completed the work, and also by then you'll have the new in-city express trains, the new electric trains, which are quieter than the current electric trains that are running on the line. That will increase capacity by 2 trains an hour. So as your previous guest has said, up from 6 to 8, which will give a third more seats per hour. So anyone travelling on that line will have obviously appreciated the times of busy trains when trains are full. So a third more seats, which is really important to people.
What about the noise created to people living nearby by trains, not having to slow down? I know it's a good thing if you're on one of the trains, but if you live nearby, is it going to have an impact?
Well, the current trains are electric trains anyway, so it's not a major noise issue versus older diesel trains. And actually, the newer trains are quieter. So the new trains that will come in by 2021 are quieter and faster and greener as well. So they bring their own benefits, and this just allows that to happen. With more seats for passengers. I think the other thing to say is, thanks to all the community for their help and support and that family that you spoke to. It's been really good working with people over the last couple of years, and it's obviously come to fruition now.
How much is this all costing?
It's just under £200 million for the project, but it is part of the wider upgrade of the East Coast Main Line, which will allow those faster trains and more trains to run in 2021 and onwards. So, passenger numbers on the railway across the UK have doubled in 20 years and will do so in the next 20 years, and it's an important part of a major artery in the UK.